Hey everyone, welcome back to Echo Your English. I'm Emily.
And I'm Ryan. Today we're tackling one of the most versatile and confusing words in the English language.
That's right. We're talking about the word get. This tiny three-letter word has so many meanings and uses that even advanced English learners sometimes scratch their heads.
Absolutely. Native speakers use get constantly, often without even thinking about it. But if you're learning English, you might be wondering why we say get up instead of just wake, or get along instead of be friends.
Exactly. So Ryan, let's start with the basics. What's the most common way we use get?
Well, the simplest use is to mean receive or obtain. For example, I got a new phone yesterday, or can you get me some water?
Right, but here's where it gets interesting. We also use get to talk about arriving somewhere, like, what time did you get home last night?
Oh, good point. I got home around 10. See, I just used it naturally. We say get home, get to work, get to the airport. It's all about arrival.
Native speakers do this automatically. We rarely say arrive home. We almost always say get home. It just sounds more natural and conversational.
Now, let's talk about phrasal verbs, because this is where get becomes super powerful. Emily, what are some of the most common ones?
Oh man, there are so many. Let me think about my morning routine. I get up at 7 o'clock, then I get dressed and get ready for work.
Perfect examples. And notice how each one means something completely different. Get up means to rise from bed. Get dressed means to put on clothes, and get ready means to prepare yourself.
Exactly. And here's something interesting. We could technically say I rise from bed, put on clothes, and prepare myself, but that sounds super formal and unnatural.
Right. Native speakers would think you're being funny or overly formal. Using get makes everything sound more relaxed and conversational.
Let's talk about relationships and emotions. We use get a lot here too. Ryan, do you get along with your neighbors?
I do. We get along great. See what Emily did there? Get along means to have a good relationship with someone. If you don't get along with someone, it means you have conflicts or don't enjoy their company.
And what about when you're trying to understand something difficult? Ryan, did you get what the professor was explaining in that lecture?
Honestly, I didn't get it at all. It went right over my head. So get it or get something means to understand. Do you get what I'm saying is incredibly common.
Yes, and we often add emphasis. I just don't get it, or you get me, which is a very friendly, informal way to say someone understands you.
Now, here's the tricky one. We also use get to describe changes or transitions. Emily, when did you get interested in photography?
I got interested about 5 years ago. Notice how get interested describes the change from not being interested to being interested? It's about the transition.
Exactly. We use this pattern all the time. Get tired, get hungry, get excited, get bored. It's all about becoming something or entering a new state.
Like, I'm getting hungry, should we order lunch soon? Or, don't get angry, but I forgot to pick up the groceries.
Ha! That's actually a perfect example of how we use get in natural conversation. Don't get angry is much more common than don't become angry.
Let's talk about some expressions that use get in ways that might seem strange to learners. What about get over something?
Ooh, that's a good one. Get over can mean to recover from an illness. I finally got over that cold. But it can also mean to emotionally move past something. It took me months to get over my breakup.
And then there's get away with something, which means to do something wrong without being punished. The thief got away with stealing the painting, or you're not going to get away with this.
Right, and get by means to survive or manage, usually with difficulty. We're getting by on one income right now, or I can get by in Spanish, but I'm not fluent.
Here's one that confuses a lot of learners. Get used as a passive voice. Instead of I was invited, we often say I got invited.
Yes, this is super common in casual speech. I got promoted last week instead of I was promoted. My car got damaged in the parking lot instead of my car was damaged.
It sounds more active and immediate somehow, doesn't it? Native speakers use this constantly, especially when telling stories.
Definitely. So I got pulled over by the police yesterday. That sounds much more natural than I was pulled over by the police.
Let's talk about some informal expressions. What about get going?
Get going means to start moving or to leave. We should get going if we want to make it on time, or come on, let's get going.
And get together means to meet socially. We should get together for coffee sometime, or are we getting together this weekend?
Here's a fun one. Get on someone's nerves. This means to annoy someone. His constant humming really gets on my nerves.
Oh, that reminds me of get under someone's skin, which can mean to annoy someone or to emotionally affect them. That criticism really got under my skin.
Now, let's talk about how get combines with different prepositions to create completely different meanings. Emily, can you give us some examples?
Sure. Get in can mean to enter. Get in the car. Get out means to leave. Get out of here. Get on can mean to board. Get on the bus.
And get off means to exit or dismount. Get off the train at the next stop. We also use it to mean finishing work. What time do you get off work?
I get off at 5 today. See? So natural. Here's another category, using get for success or achievement. I got the job, or did you get tickets to the concert?
Yes, and the opposite. I didn't get the job, or I couldn't get tickets, they sold out. It expresses both success and failure in obtaining something.
What about get with weather and time? We say, it's getting dark, or it's getting late.
Exactly. It's getting cold outside, or it's getting hot in here. We're describing a gradual change happening right now.
This is so useful for learners because it's much more natural than saying it is becoming dark or the temperature is decreasing.
Absolutely. Native speakers almost never talk like that in casual conversation. We keep it simple with get.
Let's discuss some idiomatic expressions. What about get a grip?
Get a grip means to control your emotions or calm down. Get a grip, it's not the end of the world. It's pretty informal and sometimes sounds a bit harsh.
And get real means to be realistic or stop being naive. Get real, that's never going to happen.
Here's one I use all the time. Get the hang of something means to learn how to do something after practice. It took me a while, but I finally got the hang of riding a bike.
That's such a useful expression. And get the picture means to understand the situation. You're not happy with my work. Yeah, I get the picture.
What about get cold feet? That means to become nervous or afraid about something you planned to do. I was going to ask her out, but I got cold feet.
Or get carried away, which means to become too excited or enthusiastic and lose control. I got carried away shopping and spent too much money.
These idioms are where get really shows its flexibility. You can't always translate them literally into other languages.
Exactly. And that's why listening to real conversations is so important for learning these naturally.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes learners make with get.
Good idea. One mistake is using get when you should use become in formal writing. In academic or business writing, become is usually better. You wouldn't write the results got better in a research paper.
Right, you'd say the results became better or the results improved. But in conversation, the results got better is perfect.
Another mistake is forgetting that get is irregular. The past tense is got and the past participle is gotten in American English or got in British English.
Yes, Americans say I've gotten better at tennis, while British speakers say I've got better at tennis. Both are correct in their respective regions.
Here's something interesting. Have got is often used to mean have in British English. I've got a new car instead of I have a new car.
That's true, and Americans do this too, though maybe slightly less frequently. I've got 3 brothers, or have you got any plans tonight?
Let's give our listeners some practice scenarios. Ryan, imagine you're describing your day. Use as many get phrases as you can.
Okay, here goes. I got up at 6:30 this morning. I got dressed quickly and got ready for work. I got in my car and got stuck in traffic, so I didn't get to the office until 9. I got a lot of work done though. At lunch, I got together with some colleagues. After work, I got groceries and got home around 7. Then I got dinner started and got comfortable on the couch. How was that?
Perfect. You used get naturally in so many different ways. This is exactly how native speakers talk.
Now you try, Emily. Tell me about a recent experience using lots of get phrases.
Sure. Last weekend, I got invited to a party. I was getting ready when I got a call from my friend saying she couldn't get a ride. So I got in my car to pick her up. We got to the party a bit late, but we got a warm welcome. I got chatting with some interesting people and really got into a conversation about travel. I got home late and got straight into bed because I was getting tired. The next morning, I got up late and got a headache from staying up too long.
Excellent. See how naturally get flows in real storytelling? It's everywhere.
Exactly. So for our listeners, the key is to start noticing how often native speakers use get. Listen to English podcasts, watch English shows, and pay attention.
And don't be afraid to use it. Yes, you might make mistakes at first, but that's how you learn. Start with the simple uses and gradually add more complex phrasal verbs.
Practice by describing your daily routine using get phrases. I get up, I get ready, I get to work. Make it a habit.
And remember, using get makes you sound more natural and conversational. It's the mark of someone who really understands how English works in real life.
Before we wrap up, let's give our listeners a quick challenge. Try to use get in 5 different ways today. Use it to talk about receiving something, arriving somewhere, understanding something, a change of state, and in a phrasal verb.
Great challenge. And listeners, pay attention to how you feel using these phrases. Does it start to feel more natural? That's the goal.
Well, I think we should get going and wrap this up.
Nice use of get going there. So listeners, we hope you got something valuable from today's conversation.
And we hope you get the chance to practice these phrases soon. Don't get discouraged if it feels difficult at first. You'll get the hang of it.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Actually, before we finish, let's do one more thing. Let's talk about a few more get expressions that are super useful.
Oh, good idea. What about get around to something? This means to finally do something you've been planning to do. I need to get around to cleaning the garage, or I never got around to calling her back.
That's one I use constantly, and it shows that you intended to do something but kept delaying it. It's very relatable.
Here's another one. Get through to someone. This can mean reaching someone by phone. I've been trying to call, but I can't get through. Or it can mean making someone understand. I can't seem to get through to him. He won't listen.
Yes, and get ahead means to be successful or make progress. If you want to get ahead in your career, you need to work hard. Or I'm trying to get ahead on my assignments.
And the opposite is get behind, which means to fall behind schedule. I got behind on my work when I was sick.
What about get back at someone? That means to take revenge. He's trying to get back at me for what I said. It's pretty informal.
Or get back to someone, which means to respond to them later. I'll get back to you about those plans. Or can you get back to me with an answer by Friday?
These are all expressions you'll hear daily in English-speaking environments. They're absolutely essential for sounding natural.
One more category. Get with body parts or physical actions. We say get your hair cut, not cut your hair when someone else does it.
Right. I need to get my hair cut. Or I got my car fixed. Or I'm getting my teeth cleaned tomorrow. It means you're having someone else do it for you.
That's called a causative construction, and it's very common with get. It shows that you arranged for something to be done rather than doing it yourself.
Exactly. And finally, let's mention get in questions. What do you get when you mix blue and yellow? Or where do you get your coffee? We use it all the time for asking about sources or results.
Okay, now I think we've really covered it thoroughly. Listeners, you now have a comprehensive guide to using get like a native speaker.
We'll get back together next week with another conversation topic.
Until then, keep practicing and keep getting better.
Bye.
Bye.